catch their breaths and think of their questions and start by asking a few of my own. First of all, congratulations, it's an incredible film. You mentioned in the beginning that the access to the archive was closed until recently. Can you tell the story of how you gained access?
Well, archive was opened in the end of 80s, and after that everybody can just have access. And I just it's a second film which I made with Russian State Archive in Krasnogorsk, and a previous one I made about the Stalin trial in 1930. And also I collect also part of this funeral rituals because I would like to use for my film, but it was the first idea to make a film about the genesis of the Soviet funeral ritual for important people. And when I shared this idea with a lady who know archive and is old archivist, she said, "Oh, I have like 250 boxes of the only Stalin's funeral." So I said, "Wow, interesting." And the conversation was in November in ITFA last year, and February I have seen already something, and in end of March we start edit. So.
It's actually an interesting story. So we were in November together at ITFA, and the special event that we were attending was the restoration of the anniversary of the revolution, the film by Gigovenko. So there's a lot of exciting Soviet archive cinema coming.
Our conversation was exact in this premiere. We're sitting together because she presented also this film, and so finally it happened. This is why festival necessary.
That's why.
Yes, and so we finished film in end of August, exact Thursday of Venice.
Just in time for Bettis to come here also.
Yes, and this is, I'm not prepared for Q&A because it's the first time. I try to make a Q&A for this film. I don't have something.
Of course you do. Of course you do. So I'm really curious because there's in some scenes it's spring, in some scenes it's winter. Can you give us a sense of the locations that we're actually seeing?
It's not spring and winter, and now I watch film and realize that I have to mark at least places where it is. Soviet Union, it's a huge, it's bigger than I think Canada and the United States. So and. This is they shoot from far north, Murmansk. It was in Murmansk, and till far south. It was Frunze, Tashkent, and this is Asia. And far east, Vladivostok. It was Vladivostok and some. Abakan and other cities, and Adygea, and also they shoot in far west, in Lvov. And Lvov, Vilnius, Riga, Tallinn, all this. And I think that because also the important people, because it was Stalin's son and Stalin's daughter, Svetlana Vasily Stalin, and the long take when he's sitting, like 1 minute. And I start this first visit from the child, because it's a private tragedy and all this, and after that the politics, and these three important people, not such important. I show this two persons in Siberia who have a power in this time, and he was killed in after 3 months after that, 4 months. Yeah. Mystery. So, and another version, he was killed in December, but I think in July. And another person is Malenkov, who he was a representative person, I think, who was on the place next after Stalin on the same place, and Khrushchev, who finally gets power. And nobody expect in that moment, and you can see, you can observe them, and you can understand the relationship from some small moment when Beria showed Khrushchev the place, just like that, you know, and Khrushchev just followed and stayed. That's all. So, and I can't speak, but I have to. I will put for the next print. I will put the name of the leaders of the Soviet. It was also Ceausescu. Young Ceausescu was in uniform with 2 stars, and the group of the dangerous people who lead the Romania at that time. They have faces like, you know, this Cosa Nostra. So from the distance, you know, you can read without this connotation, without knowledge. You can read the faces, and it's wow. I don't want to stay with them on mausoleum. I don't want this kind of life. So, and I will do it. I will do important places. This is why it's like spring and winter. Yeah, precise.
As Sergei said, this is really the first Q&A he's doing for the film, so we're really curious to hear some of your questions, if you have any. Everyone's in total shock. You can't believe this exists. Yes, at the end.
Was some of that film colorized, or was it your choice of choosing black and white?
No. This is a result of the technology which we follow. I have, for editing, I have material in black and white, all in black and white. And because they have a positive in black and white. And after that, when we scan, I realized that part of them in color. You know, and maybe if I received color and black and white, the editing will be different, because color, you know, influence and exists the meaning of that. So it is they shot on color and black and white, and I decided to use and to leave how it is, and it also have a meaning and add something to the film. So, and we were not colorized, but this it's an open question. If somebody would like to spend money, like Communist Party of Spain, where Dolores Ibarruri was, but she's in color. Or China, for example, it was a representative from China.
Who was the Chinese representative?
You can recognize.
Joe and Lai.
Joe and Lai, yes.
Good audience. Yes.
I want to ask, it's a very interesting lullaby to end the film. Is that a contemporary song of that time that you choose to
Yeah, this song was written in 1914. And I don't know what kind of relation, but it was between this genre, lullaby. I just mentioned Zika Wert of famous film, also lullaby, more or less about that. And it was written in 30s, 40s, was written plenty of this kind of songs, quite a lot. And this one was written in 1914. And after that, we have this sound from the plate, single, I don't know how it's named. Records, yes. And vinyl, yes, vinyl. And because even in archive, they cut out this part where Stalin mentioned. Because this song is very famous in Soviet Union, and after that, other singers sing that. And the singer is Sergei Loznitsa, he's a very famous singer and opera voice. And they even in archive cut out this part, and we just rebuilt or reconstruct, clean everything from this vinyl. So, and I don't know now, I can't answer why I use this episode, but I think it must be there, because it adds another dimension to another point. So.
Yes?
This film's quality is really very good, and some of it seems like it was shot yesterday. And to what do you attribute that?
First of all, it's a quality from archive. They saved this footage. You can imagine it's important. Then they saved it carefully. And after that, we clean everything and stabilized. And the guys who work on it, they have fantastic I don't know, equipment, and it was digitally cleaned. And they have software, very good, which clean and stabilize like that. And this is not a limit. It means that also exists another direction, not to represent archive like a dirty shaking and something, make it closer to us through the stabilization, cleaning, and etc. So, and I was surprised also, because previous film was not such a good made. I mean, the film which I did with the same people from archive. But this one, they are just growing, you know, and the technological possibilities is also, we can, with the money, we can make a super colorized everything, but it's the stabilization cost not a lot. So, and some program was created in Austria. So.
Yes?
Of the original footage, how much was like newsreel footage versus staged footage, you know, versus, I guess I'm just wondering how much is real and how much of what we saw is meant to look like
Propaganda.
reaction and people.
It's now difficult to say, but I can show my finger this one. So, because sometimes you recognize, but they shoot this ceremony finished was in 9th of March, and the last box was developed in 20th or 90th of March. You know, they shoot after that 2 weeks or no, 10 days more or something like that. So of course they use a lot these staged things, and so it's difficult to say. I try because it was many shots where people crying, and I tried to. It's a destroyed illusion. Not because I didn't like the crying people. It's destroyed illusion.
It's a small joke, but what's your 5-year plan for releasing the film?
Joke about release?
A joke about 5-year plans. Day 9. But really, what's your plan for releasing the film? When will it be in Russia?
I plan release, and I hope it will be, we have like conversation now with some distributor in Russia, but I hope it will be released also. We have some requests from different territories. So it's instead the last sentences, it's nothing against, it's all communist party can show this.
But it's because, as we were talking about the Giga Vertov film, which will now also be released in Russia as well, there seems to be a growing appetite for, historical archive cinema. So I was wondering if that's a conversation you're hearing as well?
Of course, this is, I think it's a huge interest, because in Soviet Union it was kind of coupled with Stalin figure and also the Beria, which I think appears first time with the speeches and it's some clean space, and I think it will be a huge interest. We'll see. We never know.
Well, this is only the first time the film is screening at TIFF. There's still a screening tomorrow and Sunday. Tell your friends, tell your family, and really congratulations. It's masterful.